All right. Greetings. We are Fellowship Gaming, here to entertain you with yet another tale of daring, disaster, and dimwits. So please grab your favorite drink and perhaps a snack and let us regale you with songs of our misdeeds. Today we will be playing Pathfinder 2nd Edition, which is a high fantasy D20 system. If you would like to see more content, please check us out on YouTube at fellowshipgaming.quest, where you can subscribe and hit that bell notification. If you would like to join us during our live stream, head over to Twitch and give us a follow in order to be a part of our live chat. Now, over to you, Justin.
All righty. Welcome back to Majia, everyone. Last time we were here, the heroes were looking around in the city of Minralthen for answers about the giants on the eastern edge of the territory that had attacked and kidnapped them for a short amount of time before they made their daring escape. Um, they sat in on a forum from the Council of Minralthen, heard about some concerns the citizenry had about the developments from the College of Ingenuity, calls for military action against the Brawl Empire to the east of Minralthen because of their goings on and the attack itself being blamed on them without substantive information and the injuries sustained by several people. Um, and After giving the party's account of the ambush between the patrols and the incidental civilians that were around near Fort Linnea, Councilman Daniel Danger and Todd Womass asked the party to go collect information, do some research, talk to some experts, and deliver a report. After a very long day of researching and interviewing people and like running into dead ends and hearing sermons about the environment, and they looked into the histories of ancient wars with the old Society of Giants, the evolution of language into what they know now, and getting several impromptu lectures about parasites from several different people, one of which was a professor at the College of Magisters, and the other one was Komarov's friend, Leoxandra, who is a medical practitioner, just happens to be really enthusiastic about the information around parasites. Um, the party thinks they have a method of communicating with the notes they have so that they can find out what is going on with the giants, where they're from, and what they want. So I believe where we left off is you guys were gathering some supplies, and you have at least one night to sort of like get ready, and then all of the you're being sent with sort of a small troop of guards.
Yeah, that sounds about right. I believe Katha was looking to buy a magic weapon and was hearing about a new fad in weapons. And
The new fad of the
the
um
certain maces.
yeah, the beaked maces that the this older woman that seems so enthusiastic about just generally weapons at all seems to dislike the fad of these like hooked maces. She just doesn't get it. She's like, why doesn't anyone want a nice clean club or like a bastard sword? It's just so much more practical than some of these other things. Um, yeah, so you're looking into weapons. Was there anything anyone else was looking into getting? There was some money passed around. Did anyone have stuff they wanted to look into?
I mean, weapons, I wouldn't mind getting my hands on some full plate as well, but
Do you have the money for full plate? I think full plate's
I
expensive.
have
Is it?
the money to either get a magic weapon or full plate. I do not have the
Oh,
money
okay.
for both.
Okay, yeah. Um, well, full depending if you're on the fence about getting a magic weapon, full plate is a little easier to come by. There is like a full barracks and like armorers that work with them. They would have that ready now.
Probably not for me. I have a weird body type.
You do have a knight for them to like adjust room for the tail.
I'm still probably more interested in a new weapon.
Mhm. So are you looking to branch out into human kinds of weapons, or are you wanting like an improvement on your current weapon?
I mean, in all honesty, you mentioned Bastard Sword, and that probably had Keitha going, let me see the Bastard Swords.
Yeah, so she's got like a rack full of swords, and like a couple of them are bastard swords. Um, as far as like magic goes, she's basically only got the like plus ones, but she's also got runes of plus ones. So she reaches over and says, "Try this one out." And it's like the cross guard is like a wing motif.
Hmm.
Says you got enough room to choke on there with both hands and get some torque into it. And she like swings one of her fists. She's so small. It says, or you can like you have it one handed and just as good, a little more versatile.
Honestly, I think that would be what would catch Keitha,
The
the
versatility of it.
versatility because of the Machwadel, which can also. The way I wrote it was it can be one or two handed, even though I don't
Mm-hmm.
think historically they were meant to be a bastard weapon. They were meant to
Mm-hmm.
either be a one handed or a two handed version. But screw it, let's have a little fun here, huh? So
Mm-hmm.
in our world, they're a bastard weapon.
Yeah.
So yeah, the bastard sword would probably be what she decides to buy.
She claps her hands together and she gives you the plus one is
Total would be 39 gold.
39. Okay, yeah. I was like, it's somewhere around 40. Um,
Yeah,
and
4
she,
for the weapon, 35 for the.
yeah. So she's looking up at you and she's like, "Do you want it wrapped up? Do you want it like engraved?"
Just want a sheath with it.
Oh, of course. She like comes with the purchase. She hands you like, like nice made leather sheath. Um, She says that for most other people, I recommend carrying it on your back, but you're pretty tall, so you could probably carry it on your side just fine. Was there anything else I could do? Uh, Mister?
I think I'm good with this.
All right, thank you for
This is
coming
the
in.
plus one, right?
Yes. Yeah, I heard the sound of someone else entering the chat.
It's
Is that
mysterious
Anthony
Fred.
or Fred?
Shows Fred on here.
It's Fred. He's
Okay,
muted
perfect.
currently.
Okay, perfect. Um, All right. Was there anything else people wanted to get ready?
Let's see. I was having a hard time exciting things because I didn't need all that much.
Yeah.
But I found, and it was kind of hard because the stuff, but I think the one that Komarov would like the most is this coyote cloak. Just post it in there.
Oh, yeah.
Hmm. So
Yeah.
bastard
So
swords don't do additional can't do piercing damage now. Interesting.
can or can't?
Cannot. They're no longer considered the. Oh, what was it?
No, they weren't. They didn't have versatile before.
They did have versatile before.
I remember them having it.
I remember them having it. They
It
had
has
it
been a
screwed
minute,
up because
but
they said piercing originally, versatile slashing, and it's like, do you guys have that backwards?
yeah, absolutely should have had it the other way.
But yeah, they don't have versatile piercing now.
Mhm. They're a rather good weapon, so I think it makes sense that they're piercing with it might be a little strange.
Why? It's
I mean,
got a point.
it's about the way you swing it and it's about the balance of the game. In real life, a great sword is like actually really fast and only weighs about 3 pounds, but when you're
Oh,
playing a
I know.
game, it's got to go somewhere. Um, okay.
Just trying to think of reasons why they would choose coyote to make a cloak of, and why it works.
It's because coyotes eat garbage. It's because coyotes are good at surviving. They're
They are
scavengers.
good at surviving.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I meant I was mostly thinking in our setting, like
Oh, yes. Okay. The actual logic of it. I
yeah,
mean, probably it's because they're pests and you got to do something with the skins.
uh-huh.
Easy to enchant. Lots of fur. They're stringy creatures. They're basically they live out in the sun. You're talking to a sort of a middle-aged dude with a big beard. You come up with the coyote cloak, and
Mhm.
he's just musing on it. He's like, it only takes about 3 coyotes to make a cloak. They come almost already tanned. They just live out in the sun so long. They're usually pretty skinny, so it's easy to work out.
And then like I'm trying to remember, Brawl how are furred, right?
Oh yeah, brawler
Yeah,
furred.
So I'm like looking at Alexandra, looking at the cloak, going, they're not the same, right? You
uh,
aren't.
Le-
These aren't
Le-
Brawl cloaks, are they?
uh, Leoxandra looks a little worried at first, and then he's like, "No, no, our fur is not as coarse as that." Um, and then the pattern does have some stitching in it, but I'm not seeing any stripes or spots or anything. Just sort of this gray to tan gradient. I think we're good. I think we're fine. He
Uh,
does, however, like narrow his eyes at the shopkeeper just for a second. It's like, we're all good, right? And he's like, oh yeah, don't even. Why would I? That sounds like you just said. You implied a crazy thing, little green man.
well, it's hard to
Uh,
know what you nerds would do with such technology. If you could
uh,
turn Brawl into cloaks, I think you would. Well, not you
uh,
personally. I don't know you. I meant your society in general.
he's like, oh yeah, people will do anything to turn a dollar. Anyway, that does cost money. And he just changes the subject.
Yep. Alright, so I'll look it over and go, I think this is all they gave me, and just hand it to them.
Is it enough for the coyote folk?
If I remember, you gave us 60 gold.
I only had 50.
Yeah, I believe everyone got 50, but then Komarov
50.
had more because of something else.
Okay.
It
I can't
wasn't
remember.
Komarov, it was Fred.
Komarov. Oh,
Yeah,
dang.
because he
Okay.
was
But maybe
commissioned to come find us.
Yes, yeah. He got paid by Falk's mother
Yes.
additional money.
Yeah, that's right. I didn't write down the goals before, so I didn't remember. I think that was the hard part, is a lot of the skill bonus stuff was more expensive than I had. Oh. Well, something to keep up later. We will have
Yeah,
to save money.
Yep.
Leoxandra checks his pockets and he's like, I've got like 12 silver. I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. We don't want to cheat the merchant after all.
That's capitalism. If you want to put it on, if you want me to put it aside, you could put half down now.
No, unless I know a way how to make more gold really quick. I doubt we'll be able. I
Oh
doubt
my
it'll
gosh.
be that big a deal to just buy it when we come back after stealing some angry giant's gold and then letting you have it.
Right, yeah. So you demonstrate to the shopkeeper that you don't know how money works super well, or that counting is hard, whichever one.
Yeah,
And
I'm like
he
50. This is all I have.
50, and he's like, nope,
Huh.
more than that. Is there anything you want to pick up, or are you just gonna hold on to that for later?
No, I think that's everything. Very self-sufficient, so should be good.
What about Cormo? Is there anything you want to pick up?
well, I was trying to get it to my character, but for some strange reason, the party tab only has Carmel Ravenspell. Is that me? Yeah, I guess that's me. Uh, I can't remember my own character's name. I can remember how much gold you gave me, and that's what I was trying to.
I believe you have 80 gold.
Okay. I think the main thing I probably would want to pick up would be like a +1 short sword or something. Because I'm trying to, or +1 weapon. I'm trying to remember where the weapons are in this thing. Yeah, I think I would want to just pick up a +1 short sword.
All right.
Yeah,
Well,
that's not hard to find in the city.
the +1 rune is 35 gold. If you've already got the short sword, they can just attach the rune.
Yeah, I think I already have a short sword. And that's probably what the main thing I would think I.
Yeah, so you can go up to the sort of older woman's shop and ask her to just engrave your short sword, and she's happy enough to do it. It will take like some hours, but you could pick it up in the morning. Can everyone hear me?
Yeah?
Yeah, we can
Okay.
hear you. I think we lost Fred's voice again.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm using my phone and it just closes up for some strange reason. It doesn't want to stay open.
That
And
sucks.
well, one of the reasons why I told my kids I wanted a new computer, but for Christmas, but they just laughed at me.
Um, you
So
don't have parental controls on your phone, do you? It isn't
not
like
for,
limiting your talk time with your friends.
I think it has to do with it wants to save power or something, some kind of power.
Yeah. No, my phone goes into power saver mode pretty quick.
So I gotta keep touching the phone.
So you can probably check your settings and see if you can take it off.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I was just wondering, how do you add the +1 to the weapon tabs here?
Oh, so do you see
Go to
the
the
gear on
items.
the yeah? Do you see the gear next to the weapon? Upper left
Oh
corner
yeah,
of the weapon. Weapon
yeah.
settings. You'll click that open and you'll add it. The item bonus will be +1.
Okay. And that does not add the striking rune, right?
Right.
No, that's separate.
That's separate.
Okay. I'll see if I can get it to work here. Okay. That's probably all I'll need to do.
Okay. Yeah. So you go get your short sword engraved. And if nobody else has anything they want to uh, handle over the course of the day, you do have to, in the morning, you can meet up with this sort of troop of guards and head off.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't look like it's adding it there, Fred.
Well, isn't that where I'm supposed to put it?
Huh?
If I just put it under rank trained and next to it is item and I put 1.
Yes.
Yeah,
Should be
so now
right.
it went up to 6 to 7. So it should have.
Oh yeah, that should be right.
Yeah.
Maybe it won't apply until you click out of the gear thing again.
Yeah.
So sometimes the app is in a weird spot.
That worked.
Yep. That's working
Okay.
right.
All right. So you guys stay another night. Some of you, was everyone staying in the College of Ingenuity?
I refuse to, so I'm outside the city.
Okay, so you just like go stay in a field somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had to
What
go
was
tell
that
my bird to
actually?
go hunt.
Was that actually where they had us? The College of Ingenuity?
Yeah, that's where Tiven has a room.
Yeah.
And they did offer that room to Komarov. He just hasn't been staying there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I thought it was Alexandra that was basically living there.
Yeah, Leoxandra is staying in the room. He's like, I camp a lot. I want a bed when I can get it.
Yeah.
Um, So Tivin and Leoxandra both have rooms in the College of Ingenuity. Um,
Katha would probably just go see if she could find a inn or something. Maybe something that she likes the smell of the food. It's probably what
yeah, you
she's
can find
basing hers on. How good does
Yeah,
the
you can
food
find
smell?
a. Oh, you know what? Go ahead and give me a perception check. Let's see if you can find a place that does more than toast.
Yeah, no kidding.
19's pretty good. You find a place that it smells like meat, but it smells like really greasy meat. But uh, it doesn't smell like like it's still more of a draw than some of these other places you are. It smells more like meat than it smells like beans, and I think that's like probably as good as you're gonna get.
Yeah, sounds good.
Yeah, it's perfect for all that grease. Toast.
You know what we like to do is we actually cook all the meat and then we throw it away and we just make it into gravy. No, they don't do that. They make it's like a very standard, sort of on the workers side of town where there's like more uh like cheaper housing, and like that's where they like do the like shipping and like bringing in items. um you find like a pretty standard inn where it's like just greasy meat and like like kind of a raucous underside and then like rooms up top.
Yeah.
I do have one little task before I go to bed.
Uh-huh.
So when we first came in, there was a farmer with a strange hoeing machine,
Yes.
right?
That's
Um, so um, during the night, I like to just bury it with dirt.
just all the
Oh
way.
my gosh.
Yeah, I'm just going to bring in, using my kinesis power, I'm going to just bring in dirt until it's completely covered.
Okay. Now this is not going to be the highest check because you are doing it at night. There's not a ton of people around. But for this,
Mhm.
I do want a stealth check.
Yeah. If I see anyone or anything that looks like they'd be the likeliest one, I'd use hunt prey on them to get that bonus to stealth. That's pretty good.
I mean, yeah, you're at night, so you're doing this at night. You do find it's a little you do have to go kind of ways away from town because like at the city walls they like start to do like a lot of like farming stuff. Um,
Mm-hmm.
so you go off to one of the sort of the north side of the main road, which heads um, out east, heading into like the outskirts of what the city governs, and then heading towards the Brawl Empire, miles and miles and miles away. You find the machine just sort of left in the field, this sort of like thing that has like a bunch of blades on it, and it rotates in sort of concentric rings to gather up all of the wheat and other root vegetables. It looks like it has different like attachments over to the side.
Mm-hmm.
It's like 10 feet tall, and like this is actually this is actually a prototype. Like you during the forum they were talking about like testing this. There's
Mm-hmm.
kind of just a one. Um, so it's like a huge size thing. You just over the course of several hours just bury it in soil. Are you taking the soil from the field it's in? Like, are you just
Um,
like,
well, as a kinesis, I'm basically just getting it from the plane of Earth, but so this is just more Earth. It's not from here. It's this
So
is the
you just
blessings of the Earth. Just going, yeah, we need more Earth here.
so you just like conjure up just a ton of dirt onto this thing. And you feel as though you were not seen. Nobody accosts you over
Excellent.
the course of these hours.
And then I'll go back in my usual spot.
Okay, yeah. So you go out to like this sort of spot, like way on the outskirts of town. You have like this, like I imagine just like a tarp between two trees, and then like your little fire pit.
Mhm.
Um, a nest made out of whatever long grasses you can find this far northwest from where you are used to. Um, all right. So in the morning, you guys all gather up, and there's like a carriage with some horses, and then like 8 guys uh, gearing up and getting ready. Um, getting ready to head off with you guys to investigate this cave with the giants in it that you guys were sent to investigate again.
Mhm.
Yep.
Uh, Mike, how does your character approach this? You're on the outside watching these guys with the carriage, these like guards, get ready when the party, all non-humans, walk up, and the guards seem to have like a moment where they look terse, but then they're like, "Oh, you guys are the guys we're going with, so that's fine, I guess." How do you want to approach?
And if I remember correctly, was it Althea was one of the ones that went to the College of Magisters? I'm trying to remember when they split up who went to where.
Katha is the one that went. I think Katha and Komarov
Yeah.
went to the College of Magisters with the brawl medic Leoxandra.
Okay, so that's who I would have been given descriptions of then.
Yeah.
So he will approach the two of them. So yeah, as you guys are getting ready, a human probably about 5'8" with like long dark hair. Uh, he's in red robes. Does approach the group, and he will go to those two. And I am Magnus. I was a student of Professor Mananis, and he told me of your situation. And I
Oh.
was curious to see if you had room for one more. I've been trained under the Magisters, so I do have some arcane power. I've been studying a little bit of alchemy as well, and I am kind of curious to see what's going on with these giants and see what is going on. So I'd like to offer up my services.
Well, I have no issue with that. Might be useful to have someone around that understands this a little better.
Have you ever left the city walls?
No, I've been mostly. I was raised in the city. I was born outside, but I was brought to him when I was young and have studied with the school for several years now.
Uh,
Did you have any pet rabbits?
I do not have any rabbits.
Okay.
is that any more or ever?
Ever.
Okay. Also, can you eat things besides toast?
Yes, actually know
Do
how to
you
make
know how to
things
cook?
beyond that. I actually do. students would take turns learning new recipes. So I have a few things in my repertoire.
You know how to cook things besides beans, I guess we should say.
A lot of the recipes you learned were beans, but not all of them.
Yeah, there's like beans and rice, beans and more beans,
Beans and different beans.
beans, beans and
Meat.
chicken,
I need
beans and
meat.
pig.
7-bean soup. Beans and grains,
Grain.
which is just bread before it's bread.
Well, I think we should get headed out then.
Typical nerd.
You seem like a trustworthy fellow. Let's.
I'm just thinking we could actually use someone that knows more about this than just swinging a sword.
Well, I
Yeah,
hope so. This one doesn't look like he swung a sword before.
They swing a staff. He does have a staff on him.
It's a good choice of weapon, though. Probably the best thing about it.
Yes. You are strange, Karmarov, with your disdain of anything crafted.
Well, metal, but yes.
Sometimes I wonder how you hold the brawl off as well as you do.
Are we what?
Hold the brawl off as well as you do.
You see, the grass is really high and they're really short, like me.
Yeah,
I look
it
up
didn't
at-
stop us.
They seem to be very good at ambush tactics.
Again, didn't stop us.
Mm.
But
Maybe
we
they liked you
didn't.
better.
I assure you, that was a very bloody war. And it might be their fixation on the brawl that kept them from really coming after us. But we also didn't try to take very much territory.
True.
You don't seem to have very many wars. I don't know why.
Who?
People, my people.
You live in cliffs. Kind of hard to assault cliffs next to the shallow sea. That's probably the other reason you don't have too many wars. You live next to the shallow sea.
I don't know. We keep sinking ships.
I can't imagine there's a whole lot of ships that go that way.
Well, as long as they have a treaty with us, they're fine. Because we can't do everything ourselves. So we do have treaties, trade treaties with multiple nations or city-states.
I am aware.
So while
As
you
long as you
guys
don't-
are, what's up?
I was about to say, as long as you don't piss off the owl guards, you're pretty good. The ones that fly the giant owls.
Yeah.
More ambush tactics
Mm-hmm.
from above and from below.
Correct.
Yeah, so during this time, you guys are marching with the soldiers who have like some equipment loaded into the carriage. It looks like this is mostly for like gear. They have like basically they have stuff to like build a barricade just in case things get rough while you guys are doing the actual negotiating. For the purposes of this, Mike, what does what languages does Magnus speak?
Let's see. He's got uh Dwarven, Elven, Gnomish, Orcish, and just trying to think what the last one was.
There's no gnomes here, just so you know.
Oh yeah, I might have hit the wrong one. I was trying to think
You could
when I was
have
looking at it.
Varston,
Yeah,
we could
yeah, that's a
which would be what Katha speaks,
this makes.
and Elven is basically common.
Is it okay? I was
Yeah,
trying to remember everything when I was adding them on because I have
yeah. So
for bonus
basically, the elves
languages.
were the ones that did almost all the trading, so their language spread.
Right.
So most people speak Elven as a trade language.
Oh, there it goes. I was just looking on my thing
you
to
could
change
you could speak
custom
like
languages.
old Elvish.
Yeah, there would be an
Okay.
old Elvish.
Okay, so we can
Yeah,
see that's what that is.
yeah. If you're like really fixated in history, you could speak like the old versions of a few
Mhm.
languages as well. Um,
Yeah, I was trying when I was looking through everything, trying to remember like what the different languages were. Sorry.
yeah.
Let's see.
What does everyone? So Magnus speaks Dwarvish, which means he also would be able to understand the notes you guys
Yeah,
have gathered up.
Mhm.
Is Magnus trained in a charisma based thing, either diplomacy, deception, anything like that? Because Tivin
Yeah,
is trained, but Tivin also only has 10 charisma. And previous to Magnus offering his services, Tivin was the one that was going to do all of the talking.
yeah, I have diplomacy with a +2 charisma, so it's a
Okay,
+4
yeah.
total.
All right. So that means Tivin is going to be quieter today. Yeah. So, but we will say if you guys want Tivin to interact with anything, we could pull his sheet up. But with Magnus here, we can take those notes and you guys can pass them to him, and he can now be the forefront.
spokesman.
Yeah, Tivin seems to be in a brain fog.
Hey,
It's
I
too
get it.
many beans.
No
It's
kidding.
the beans.
It
They're
is
not.
the beans.
It's not sitting well with him. Tivin's having a bad day.
Don't stand behind him.
You're like, you're just the like when a dwarf's stomach is upset, it's different than when a man's stomach is upset. You don't want to be anywhere near that. Um, like we're not made of the same stuff. We're built different. He's standing farther away than everyone else is. Um, Yeah, so over the course of you guys sort of negotiating this and talking about where you're from and like looking at these old histories that you have, you're marching with these soldiers who have, for the most part, been keeping to themselves. What is everyone's exploration activities? We'll keep that going.
Katha is probably going to be doing perception. Forget what that's called.
Searching.
Search.
Seeking is action
Seeking.
in turn uh,
Okay,
combat. Is it seeking or well, they're the same.
they're the same.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
doesn't matter. All right, so Keitha will seek. Komarov, what do you want to do?
I'm a searcher. Got +5.
+5. And what was your bonus, Keitha?
+6.
6. What does Magnus do?
He'll most likely be doing searching unless he knows like there's magic around, and then he'd be like detect magic. But
Okay.
without that, he'll default to search.
Okay, perfect. And then Karmo.
Hobby is probably scouting.
Scouting. Okay, perfect. So you and your dire hawk are scouting. Um, uh, you're like keeping. Does your hawk have a?
Above.
Yeah. So doing circles above, looking out for stuff, and you can understand the like cries, that he puts out.
Mm-hmm.
What was Magnus's bonus to perception?
4.
4.
Yeah.
All right. All right. So you guys, it spends the better part of the day just getting to Fort Linnea with the guards and the cart. It is a little bit more slow going. Do you guys want to stay sort of like at the barracks again, or do you want to try to just push forward?
Um, I think it'd be okay to stay the night at the barracks.
Mm. Oh, did we pass the guy's weird farming machine
Yes,
as
you
we
did.
left?
I forgot. So yeah, Komarov and Katha, Magnus, you are going through these notes pretty hard. I actually rolled for this and I got distracted and moved on. Katha, you see off to the side this like very strange machine that when you first came back into Minralthen, like there had been like a bunch of dudes either looking proud or taking notes about this big spinning machine. Now you see even more people with like shovels and pails digging out this big pile of dirt with these metal hooked joints sticking out of it that you immediately recognize as this machine. And so many people are upset and yelling, and one person is fully crying.
I mean, I just look over at Komarov and I'm like, I don't say anything, but I give this basically a disproving stare. Because I can't say I know it's you, but I have a very distinct feeling that it's you.
Meanwhile, I don't give any sort of reaction.
Yeah. uh, Leoxandra is standing next to you. He leans.
Mhm.
He has to lean way down. He's kind of tall, but
Yeah.
he's like we like we could talk about that later. You know, it's a little aggressive, is all I mean. And he just continues walking as well. Like that could get you in trouble. Yeah, so you guys pass that, and there's a whole scene where there's like a ton of workers, and then like people that look a little more studious and like either like work foremans or like mechanics or researchers, like just so upset, and then like a bunch of farm hands just digging this thing, and people being like, "Be careful when you're digging! Don't break any of the mechanisms!" Like there's just so many small moving parts that are now just caked with dirt. Um, Um, yeah, so you guys march for the better part of the day, heading to Fort Linnea, this little outskirts town. Um, and the vote was for to stay at the barracks.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Mhm.
We know the cook.
the cook does not like us. Well, the cook does not like me,
Yeah,
thanks to somebody.
the cook
What?
doesn't like K-Buzz specifically.
I have no idea what you're talking.
Yeah, so you guys you guys spend the night in like these rooms that the barracks will offer to you in the morning. All of the guards you've been traveling with, these like 9 guys, are like talking to people that they look like they have a relationship with, like they know each other either from training or because this is a patrol, um, or eating alone. And the cook, like as you guys come up in the line, this like big sort of like burly dude with this like the his like uh like keg belly, sort of walks. You guys walk up again. He's like, well, fuck me, huh? Looking at Katha, being like, what can I get for you? You want some human meat?
What?
Is that what you want?
Ah, that's taboo.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong. Is that not what he was told?
That
Yeah.
is what he was told.
Yeah.
Yeah, he like gets quiet, but then leans forward at you, like he's like I don't want to cause a scene, but I know.
You're crazy. Eating the meat of an intelligent being is a travesty.
Are you gonna try and like smooth things over, or are you just gonna like tell him he's wrong and walk away?
I mean, I'm confused. It's like, who on earth would tell you we eat other intelligent creatures? I know we're not common in the north, but
Yeah, make a diplomacy check. Appeal to this guy's sensibilities. 16's good. Uh, he straight points at Komarov. Like, the little one told me all of your secrets. Now I don't trust him either, but you know, I see him more often. I'm comfortable with it. They show up sometimes. It's okay.
I don't know what tribe he's from where he thinks deceiving others is such a wise decision. Most of the orcs I know, I mean outside of battle, are not deceptive.
Yeah. So with that diplomacy check, you smooth things over a little bit, and he's at first a little confused, but he does believe you when you're like, I would never do that, and that sounds crazy and gross, at least from a cultural standpoint.
Yeah. It's like, yeah, a lot of us eat meat, but where we come from, there's a lot of creatures to hunt.
So after a short conversation, he's like, okay, I'm sorry. Like the kind of sorry that's like really upfront, like this is putting me off of my comfort zone a little bit to apologize, but he does do it.
Uh,
He's like, well, around here, and then he pushes a plate forward. We got beans and bread, so much bread. Um,
this
there
stuff
there
does
is
not
meat.
agree with me.
There is meat on the plate, but it is like not a lot. They give you like 2 strips of bacon and then like a whole bowl of beans.
I'll eat it. I mean, it's what's available.
I had you a raw rabbit and said, my bird found this.
And this rabbit also looks like a pet rabbit.
Is
It's got,
your
like,
bird
rust-
full?
It's got a bow on.
It has a
Yeah,
bow
but
on.
well, he gave this to me, so I'm sure he's full. I'm sure there's more than one rabbit at the hutch or wherever you got it.
I mean, it's weird that humans have so many pet rabbits.
Isn't it though? It's very handy for my bird.
After Keitha is done, I'll go up to the cook and say, I can't believe you bought these lies.
Make a deception check.
I got a hero point that. It's important.
Okay. All right.
There we go.
2. Okay. What do you tell him this time?
Like, you are so naive. Like, do you see that creature? Do you think it wouldn't eat you? It would. In a heartbeat. It doesn't know the difference.
So Katha's already across the room and like very dejectedly eating her beans and bacon and this big hunk of like some really well baked bread. So much butter on it. And he like narrows his eyes again. He's like, "I've been had."
Look, man, you can't trust people these days. I know, it's awful.
Komarov puts a lot of effort into perpetuating racial stereotypes in this moment and spreading lies.
Yes, he
So
does.
Cook looks just so hurt by the lies he's been fed by this big reptilian religious figure, and is like just glaring the whole time. From then until you guys leave. Formo gives a raw rabbit to Katha and has one himself, I imagine. Magnus, are you eating with these guys? Or are you off on
Yeah.
your own?
No, I'll be eating with them.
How about we take my raw rabbit outside and cook it?
I
Okay,
mean,
yeah, you
yeah, if there's a
Raising
way
fire.
to. On it, I would skin it and all that, but outside and away. But raw meat is meat. I don't need to cook it.
Katha, like, I feel like I owe you an apology for some sort of joke just because you were so hung up on meat.
I want to actually sense motive that.
Yeah, go ahead and make that perception check. What Komarov, what's your DC here? Just
Um,
off.
I'm gonna hunt prey him, so it's a 15.
Wow. Okay.
It's not worth hero pointing in all honesty.
No.
Oh,
What
okay.
information were you trying to get out of that though? Like
I'm
just
like,
intention?
why is he apologizing to me for some kind of joke?
Oh yeah.
And it's like, oh yeah, the cook. But
Yeah,
wait a
the cook
minute,
did
why
tell
is
you.
he apologizing again? Because I got that straightened out.
Yeah. Well, I'm apologizing because after being outed, I didn't say anything. You two just talked. So this is me coming to you afterwards and saying, after I've gotten my food, saying, hey, I apologize for that.
Okay, so he reinstates what he thinks is a funny joke and then comes and apologizes to you
Yes.
so that
Yeah.
you don't know the cook is all mad again.
Yes.
Yeah, effectively.
And then you don't get the lie in this moment.
Exactly. Yep. Nope.
Yeah, that's what it is you believe this one. All right. So you guys gather up the soldiers, load up, get the horses ready, and move on. Unless Magnus, did you want to interact with anyone during the shenanigans there?
No, I'll just be kind of observing them and seeing how they work together and act
Make a
together.
perception check just for how to see if you clock how
Yeah. How it's
mischievous
going there. Yeah.
Komarov is sort of just being.
Oh, okay. Hold on. I just realized I didn't put my stuff on that. So let's see here. Okay.
15 does beat the deception DC. So you watch Komarov play both of these people like a mean kid in a human high school. Like playing to K-Thought being like, hey, I'm sorry, man. Like, we're good. But then going to the cook and being like, she's a fucking liar. Does 15 get anything on Komarov's motivations for Magnus, Brian?
Like, it's mostly just like it is just fun for him. Like,
Okay, so this is part of
Keitha,
the enjoyment.
because of what Keitha is, like the Varsts are kind of feel mysterious for everyone, and so I'm like, it's really easy to just make up stuff. And as long as like Keitha doesn't actually get in trouble for that, like then it's fine. But he enjoys the rumors and
Okay.
playing with the cook's feelings. Like if later we come up against some sort of cannibal serial killer and they're like, it's Keitha, and I'm like, no, that's not real.
Okay, yeah.
The
So,
Mars would
so it
never
is.
do that.
So it is just like sort of a mischievous wanting to stir the pot.
Mhm.
No actual malice.
Yeah.
Not trying to work out some hard stuff in a bad abusive way or anything like that.
I don't think he would cope that way. No, this is just fun.
Yeah,
Has
that's
some
what
with
I
the
was looking
Okay.
for, like coping. Yeah, so you guys load up, Magnus. You watch the sort of dance of these odd people. How many, question for Magnus, how many non-humans do you think you deal with on a daily basis? Like the city itself, Minrothen, is mostly humans, but not 100%, you know? Like, is this like the first bunch of people you've been with that were non-human?
Probably not, because he would have spent some time, you know, outside of the just mostly going through the city doing errands and stuff. So he's probably seen some, maybe interacted with a little bit, but probably not too much.
Yeah, so no close ties, but like um, dealings on the street and like with potentially like a lot of sailors. Minrothen has like it's pretty close to the water. You would have a lot of ships coming up.
Yeah.
Yeah, you watch all this play out. Cormo goes and cooks this rabbit, skins it, has his own food. Uh, Keitha shares that with him, smooths something over with this cook that seems to recognize them, and then is immediately uh, told the opposing information from Komarov, this little orc. Um, and you guys have another couple of hours to walk down the road before you come back up to this clearing against the cliffs with these giants. What you come back up to the I'm going to move us over to that. They changed this tab. Oh, how can I click on things now? It looks worse. You know, entirely possible that's just the way my computer is interpreting this. It's not known for taking updates very well. Make sure everything is legit. Yeah, so I will, just for the sake of scene, I will move us over to that, the scene with the cave, but we don't necessarily need to put minis down yet unless things go rather poorly. Nope, never mind. I can't move that thing because of the way it's crushed. How?
Okay.
There, no,
There it goes.
did that
There it
do it?
goes.
Okay. All right. So after a few hours of walking down the road and coming up through these winding trail that goes through the trees, you get back to these two gray circles are stones that block the path they used to get in, and the soldiers or the guards rather park their cart and start. They don't start digging trenches yet. Um, but they are getting like all of the stuff loaded off of the cart to get ready because they were told to that containment is their job. You know, they are here for that. So they signal that like they're looking at Katha. They're mostly looking at Katha because Tivin has been so quiet, but Katha and Tivin I think are the ones that talk to the council the most. And they're like, go do your thing. We'll be here setting up a barricade. You know, looks like it's already fairly well barricaded, but, you know, just following orders. Good luck. And they start digging pits for these, like sort of, you know, like the cross barricade used to like block a road in like old timey war video games.
Yeah.
Mm.
All right. Well, I guess I'm gonna start moving in. I'm gonna try and start shouting a hello using the notes we've got.
Yeah, so you can call out. Everyone go ahead and make a perception check. How close are you getting before you, will you walk all the way up to the cavern entrance?
I'm
Or are you
probably
going to,
starting at the stones
yeah. So you start shouting from the
and
stones.
just yelling from there.
Okay. All right. Koromo and Keitha, you guys have been here before. Koromo, you didn't see a lot of the stuff deeper in, but you can tell that the place has been sort of tossed a little bit. There had been like a pile of stuff next to one of those giant chairs that like looked like they were just held together by like broken carts and stuff. Like, you know, they basically made themselves some stools to sit around the fire. There had been like a pile of stuff there. It looks like that's been scattered. One of the stools has been tipped over. Those horses are right there, but they are dead. Um, they look like they've been roughly butchered. Katha, you notice all of those same things. Komarov, you are you're a little distracted, and Magnus, you don't know what this place looked like before, so you're like, oh, it's like a big camp, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Katha, go ahead and give me a diplomacy check when you are calling out to see what the attitude is when you are answered.
Okay.
15 is fine. The one that approaches the cavern is the slightly larger, sort of a green tint to it, like sort of what at least I'm not sure how well Katha can tell, like you know, gender dimorphism in other humanoids are, but everyone that's more humanoid will see that this was probably a female giant. She approaches the cavern, bow drawn, like fully a spear in it, and like as a warding gesture. Uh, I'll keep the perception checks from earlier for this moment. Katha and Koromo, she is not. She looks sick. Like previously, you had seen, like you had not seen this one necessarily up close, but even from this distance, you can tell she's like sweating really hard, and the tint of her flesh has changed to sort of a grayer tone. she comes up and she like barks like a single syllable sound out, and is like warding you away with her very large bow.
All right. Well, I step aside and say, "It's up to you, Magnus. I
Alright.
don't do this well."
Um, before we get started with a lot of things, I do want to say that mechanically, the way this is going to work, the steps that we're looking for is right now you are at that in the subsystems of the core book. I just like to let people know how I build things like this. The influence section is how we're going to be approaching this. So everyone can do stuff. Like it is going to be filtered through Magnus, but you can look through things and discover things before you start talking to the giant or inquiring things. So if anyone wants to try and find information to sort of smooth things over or create like talking points potentially to like ease the negotiations, everyone can get a chance to do something, and then we'll see how far ingratiated and we can move into the next step. Right now, she is very on edge and is openly threatening you. So does anyone wants to make any sort of check to try and find information out to ease the situation in the moment?
I'd like to try to do a nature check
Is there specific information you're looking for?
just to see if I can tell that she's more sick, but if there's a way I might know maybe a little bit of what's going on. And just to me, it's more of because we're out in the nature and stuff like that. I figured maybe might help.
Yeah, you can examine sort of from where you guys are. I'll say you guys are currently like between the stones and the fire pit, and she's at the mouth of the cave. You can look around and see. This one will be a little higher than some of the other ones, but you can absolutely get information from that. Critical pass. So that is. Give me just a moment to see how. I just want to double check to make sure I am doing things right. Okay. Koromo, you're looking around and you're seeing that a lot of the area around the stones, there had previously been foliage here. Some of it has been torn up to create space for large creatures, but you see also that there's like the remnants of plants that are used in alchemy, in medicine, and you identify these ones as either being like sleeping like aids, painkillers, or otherwise things that like would ease like they're general like herbal medicines, but you see they've all been stripped out and you can see the like remnants around that. You can also see around the fire pit that like the things that are left there are also they look like they were like that was the area they also used to sort through these things. So they're looking for specific things that are they're looking for any downers they can find in kind of a shorthand way to put things, like all sleep agents, all paralytics, anything that lowers your heart rate.
I will let whoever's doing the talking know.
Alright.
Could I do a medicine check from this distance?
Yes, this will be a little harder just from the distance, but you absolutely can make a medicine check.
Okay.
That is killer, though. Is there specific information you're trying to get out of this, or are you just trying to assess her condition?
Trying to assess her condition.
Okay. So Def absolutely has like probably her hand is, you can see the bow is super large, She looks like she is unsteady on her feet and her hands are shaking. She's going through like that like cold sweats kind of aspect of the fever. She looks like she's exhausted. She looks like she is also probably not in the most coherent like like you when the giants ambushed you guys and took you prisoner. This was the one calling orders. She seemed very with it. You know, she was in charge and she was the one making decisions and calling out to the other two. Right now, it looks like she doesn't even see very well. So you get the impression that whatever her condition is, she's probably going to act a little rashly.
Okay.
And she's definitely got like the drained condition.
Hmm.
So whatever over the course of the like you guys have been gone for like almost 5 days. This is the fifth day. It has progressed a lot since then.
Okay.
And with the information, sorry, Cormo found a lot of really good information. You looking at her with that information, they've probably run out of whatever they needed or were looking for.
Yeah.
Or they're needing exponentially more and more to keep their condition down. One of those two things.
Yeah. Nope. I'll pass that information on.
Of course. And Komarov, is there anything you would like to do in the moment?
Hmm. Let's see. I think that I'd want to take a look around at tracks in the area. Because I'm trying to figure out if this is like a quarantine where this giant's been left to die, or if there's still lots of traffic in and out of the cave with survival.
Yeah, go ahead and roll survival.
Yeah.
What you're seeing is a lot of really big footprints and like I think the thing you notice is that the horses have been dead for a bit. like they've been dead pretty much immediately as you guys left.
Yeah.
So you don't get a sense of the traffic in this moment.
Okay.
Okay, so with the information given to Magnus, the skills you can use to smooth things over, like diplomacy, is going to be really difficult because of her condition. She is paranoid. You think that like she definitely wants to keep a distance in that way where it's like a little irrational in the moment. But you can use diplomacy, but that one's going to be the highest DC. You get the idea that you could use medicine and talk about the condition. That one will be a little lower, but only because the language you can communicate with is a little rudimentary. So as of right now, you know that like talking is always an option, but talking that about medicine it will smooth things over a little more. You can also attempt to use any skill to try and like get yourself through the door. However, it's a risk on does she understand what you're saying and does that matter to her in the moment?
Okay, so I think I'm gonna do something similar to the medicine, but with his knowledge of like antidotes and anti-plague, he's gonna try to discuss about seeing if we could find a way to craft a something to help them relieve their pressure because it does sound like they were using some, but they've ran out of supplies, so we need to craft some new stuff and find new supplies. So I'll bring in that we can search the area to help grab more items to create some kind of alchemical cure for her.
All right. So is this a um are you saying this to her? Are you trying to influence her, or are you trying to discover information?
I'll try to influence her. I'll try to like talk to her about like this is what we need to do to help you out and see if we can get her to relax a little bit and so that she's willing for us to help her out. So I'm hoping by talking about how we can craft more medicine for her.
Yeah.
Well,
Go
ease
ahead and
her up.
make a craft check to sort of use the keywords
Oh,
that you
boo.
can find in the notes. Um, that's not good. Do you want to sit with that one? You don't
Uh,
get the sense that she's going to pop off immediately, but that this will not help the situation in the moment, you know?
yeah. Um, I will use my hero point. We'll try that.
Okay. Yeah, I think
Oh,
there we
that's great.
go. That is significantly better. So you, I think Magnus catches himself mispronouncing a word that's really
Mhm.
similar to a word. A lot of the notes you have are about Warcraft.
Mhm.
Like so you're like using a word for triage instead of medicine,
Just,
and saying that to someone who's really sick is like, no, you don't. um, yeah, so you correct yourself in the moment, and that does help with things. And in fact, you get the sense that it like with more discovery you would have found that like this is actually one of the easiest methods to like get yourselves forward, so that smooths things over really well. So she still has the bow drawn, but it looks like her arm is getting tired. And she like releases it. She's still pointing the bow, but she no longer has it, like it's still knocked, but it's not drawn anymore. So
okay.
she's still like got it, and she eases forward. And the words you get from her are in the way that they're rudimentary. She is basically like, um, you small, no trust, small hurt, like trying to express this distrust with smaller humanoids because of something that has happened to her and the other giants that had been here.
Okay.
um, so we can go back around. Everyone can do another check for anything. um, So anyone that doesn't speak Dwarvish can still try to influence her. It's just going to be harder depending on how much language it would be. Or you can attempt to, use a check to aid the next check Magnus uses. Of course, you can all aid each other as well, but that would count as your action for the influence, the influencing moment.
Okay.
So it does sound like, yeah, we need to help them try to find something to cure them or at least alleviate some of their symptoms. It does seem to be working so far.
Hmm. Um. Question is, what would help?
Do you want to discover new information?
I'm kind of thinking out loud.
Right, we can come back to K Thought. Koromo, is there anything you want to do in the moment here?
Maybe I'll start seeing if I can find some of the herbs and stuff. Would that be a nature check?
Yeah, so it would be an easier survival check, but you could also still use nature for that.
I'll do survival.
You bet. Yeah. So basically, you would like hold up your hands, and Magnus would be like, he's gonna go look, and you'd be gone for like a couple of minutes. Um, and this isn't as tight as combat is as far as like um, as far as timing goes. Like each of these is sort of like a few minutes of time. Cormo, I'm going to say that's not a pass. Do you want to use your hero point, or do you want to save that for later?
I'll probably save that for later. I figure they probably have gone around here pretty good, and so my next time I'll do it is I've gone further away.
Okay, perfect. So yeah, you start searching around, but this place is pretty picked over. You like go on the other side of the trees, but you know the guards are like setting up their little barricades and stuff, and they're like trampling all over everything. You don't get very far in that. Komarov, is there anything you want to hang on or pursue?
I think that um, Komarov is going to just try a perception check to figure out what else can help soothe this if we're going to continue talking, because like it seems premature to just be like, yeah, we got a cure, and it's like, no, well, we need
Um,
some other backup to
um,
gain talking points.
where are you looking? Are you looking in so there's this large living space over here that looks like it might have been like a communal bed or like a workstation. Are you trying to approach a little bit and look into the cavern, or are you like where are you looking? Are you examining the giant?
Examining the giant,
Okay. Go and roll perception.
like trying to figure out what else would work besides promise of a cure that we don't probably have.
Yeah.
Nice.
That's very good. Komarov, you're looking at this giant, and like she's like her stance is still ready, but it's no longer like full aggressive. Magnus has said that he can create medicines, that he knows alchemy, and Horimo is off looking for things. What you see are like she on her like chest, she's wearing like a rope with what look like, you can't recognize what they are, but you
Mhm.
do see that they are like spiritual effigies in some way. You think that this person is like at least religious in a way. So there is a soothing aspect to talking about someone from a religious perspective.
Hmm.
So like so if you're trying to avoid making promises and saying we definitely can help you, you know that like speaking from a religious perspective would ease some of this tension.
Hmm. And so uh, I'll point them out to Keitha and be like, I don't know what they mean, but just in case we don't have a cure for the thing we don't know about, um, they appear to be somewhat religious. You might have some common ground there.
Okay, so I do have this, and I
Oh,
will
nice.
use religion to see if I can interpret that. So, oh,
Nice.
I
Nice.
mean, that's a full critical pass. Yeah. Uh, so you don't recognize this as being like a really. I think you definitely get the intention, but these are like symbols that are derivative of symbols that otherwise you know of in other societies. But it doesn't look like they're not clean enough for you to be like, this is a person that worships this deity. What you see are several symbols that are like tied to splinter things that have like branched off from other major religious movements or cult movements that are affiliated with freedom, and sort of salvation. Like, you get the idea that this person has at least felt oppressed. Like, I don't know how much you get off of their body language, but like looking at the symbols, you're seeing someone that desperately is appealing to some sort of spiritual part of like them wanting to be free of something, be free to, live. So you get that feeling off of them, definitely. And with that, I'll let you know that using society, you can try and figure out where that initial spiritual connection comes from. So now you can use society, diplomacy, medicine, religion, or crafting while talking to the giant here. The easiest one is actually religion and crafting. You'll get more information. The only thing you guys are fully missing is the part of things in society. So the key you're looking for is in that.
All right. Which is, I guess, where I will focus on for my portion. I will work with her on trying to do the communication, try to understand their society a little bit better, and to figure out what is going on here.
Alrighty. Yeah, if you would like to roll society, go for it. Awesome. Very good. All right. So how do you try to phrase the question? Or are you making an assertion?
I'll just try to make an assertion and just try to get to figure them out a little bit more and figure out like what is it about their religion that is causing for us not to be able to help them out, and see if there's a way we can work around that.
Okay. Yeah. So you ask about the symbols and ask about the freedom and like that spiritual aspect of things, and the response you get is at this point she's actually unknocked the bow, still holding it and still has the arrow in one hand, but she like displays her wrists, and they similarly have like some scarring on them. Her hands are shaking really badly as she does this. She says the word slaves. And then she points to all of you as if to gesture small people. And then she like points kind of at her chest, and like the word you get is illness. Like the idea she's talking about, the only word you get from the notes you have and from the pronunciations you understand is illness, but she is saying more words. Mike, in this moment, go ahead and have Magnus make a perception check.
Okay.
You've been talking for like 15 or 20 minutes. She's not very well spoken. Like even beyond what you might think of as, like, you can definitely tell this is an intelligent creature with like some kind of tie to culture. But even as you guys are necessarily talking in simple terms, it feels like she's not comfortable with real full sentences. Like she didn't grow up around a lot of culture.
Okay.
So like you're using like really deliberately simple words. It feels like she actually is trying to say something bigger, but more than you not understanding it, she doesn't know how. Is
How?
I guess what you're saying. like this is not a creature that is a simple creature. You get the idea that like they've been doing medicine and alchemy, but it's the language that is hard. And to your knowledge, this is her language. So I think it strikes you as odd that it would be hard.
Hmm.
And then there are a lot of reasons for that. That could be, there can be a lot of factors in that. But you do get the sense that what you're saying is like hitting home, and it looks like in the moment she's now no longer has the arrow knocked. You guys could approach
All right.
closer now, and like if you wanted to go into the actual cavern there and get some different information, it looks like she is willing to take the risk as it is.
All right. Um, some of us want to go. Some of us go in, and then maybe have a few go and try to see if they can find supplies to help make the medicine.
Isn't that what Karumo's doing?
I think so. I think Kuruma was going out, but I don't know. I'm not very good within the woods, so I
I could
I
go
can
out
help.
and see if I could find something. Do you know what I'm supposed to be looking for?
Yeah, uh, I can describe some of the different herbs and items that we would need to help maybe create a antidote or anti-plague or something for them.
All right. Yeah, just tell me what I need to look for, and that'll help me narrow down.
Okay.
So once I get that, I'll head out and see if I can find anything that Magnus was talking about.
All right. Who wants to go into the cavern and who wants to go look for supplies? So Katha is going out to look for herbs and other things that can be used as medicines. Does Koromo still want to be out looking for supplies as well?
Yeah, I'll probably still be out looking for supplies.
Okay. Um, and I actually don't know if Katha is trained in nature or survival. Are you aiding Koromo or are you making your own check?
I'm trained in survival, so I'll make my own check.
Alrighty, cool. What's Komarov want to do?
I better make sure the nerd doesn't get himself hurt. So I'm gonna go into the cave with Magnus.
So Komarov goes in with Magnus. At this point, you guys are with the bow lowered. Leoxandra actually comes in from like the sort of cover of the trees and comes up and says to Magnus, like, I am a medic. I'm a surgeon. So if you need help with medicine or anything like that, I can help with that. I'm not so that's what I do. Like so he
Oh,
seems really nervous, but he's willing to like come in and help if you ask him.
okay, no, that sounds good. Yeah, because we could probably, I can help like try to make some medicine, and if you can administer and make sure that it is working on them, that would be probably the best.
All righty. Okay, so we'll start with Kathon Koromo. Let's see if you can find any.
Okay.
Hell yes. Wow, you guys both do incredibly well. You go a little farther out. You're like you walk for about 5 minutes, so a little farther away. But you do find a bunch of stuff that like Koromo finds like a bunch of like something similar to mint, where you're like this has like a calming effect. It can help with like pain and stuff. Like people rub it in their teeth when they have like bad teeth. And Katha, I think you find some stuff that you find the stuff that Magnus was telling you about. It's like a root plant that if you brew it, it will like settle your stomach and calm your nerves. And you both find like a big, like very healthy, like
Patch.
oh, I don't know what you, yeah,
Usually
patch.
it's a patch.
Yeah, I don't know what other word I was looking for. I was thinking of words that all pertained to groups of trees, and I'm like, that's not right.
Yeah, for plant,
uh,
patch is usually the right word.
yeah, you guys find patches of stuff where you can harvest the leaves and the roots to aid in a lot of these things. So you think with that you can smooth things over pretty well, but that will effectively come in during the next round of things.
All right.
So you guys gather that and start heading back in. Amarov, what do you want to be doing in the moment? So you guys are now in this cavern. You see there's a source of water. It kind of goes up into the side of this cliff face here. And it looks like they have like one cot with like a bunch of supplies around it and what looks like a bunch of crates and barrels stocked way out in the back.
Hmm.
And then the other giant, which does look like a different kind of giant, is laying down on the cot, is just sweating and breathing, eyes closed, fully unconscious.
Hmm.
Like
Does
they're
the
kind of
other
like heavy panic breathing, but like otherwise no consciousness.
yeah? Does the other giant look like one of the ones that captured us?
Yeah, you do recognize this one as well as far as you can recognize
Mm-hmm.
giant. You know that this is one of these two are the two surviving of the three,
Okay.
or at least the two that were still conscious when you were rendered unconscious.
Okay. Was the one that was by the campfire before a different one?
No, this is the one that picked up Tivin.
Okay.
Yeah, so this is the one that picked up Tivin and then let you guys go after Tivin was like, Tivin. This is the one that Tivin had that moment with,
Okay. You
where
probably
it
just didn't recognize them without the bone. Okay. Um, let's see. I'm gonna check. Let's see. No, it's just not as much work as making it myself. So, does it look like they have something to um near them that they've been putting water in and stuff like that? Because
yeah,
they sound
they're
thirsty.
yeah, there is like so it's a bucket in the way that that's how they're using it,
Mhm.
but it is a barrel that is fully your size
Okay.
that they sort of pulled the top off of, and there is like a good source of water here.
Okay.
Oh,
So,
so are you just trying to give water to this unconscious giant?
yeah, I think so. Make sure, because I don't know the quality of the cave water, like, but channeling pure water is going to be better than what the cave water is going to be like.
Oh, you can create water.
Mhm.
What skill are you going to be using to do this? And is this trying to find information or influence them?
Um, let's see. This probably be to find information. Closest skill I can think of is medicine. It's not great, but I'm just like, fever's usually water. That's a thing. But
Do you want
Komarov doesn't know.
do you want to
I could do
I'll put
nature instead.
nature will be harder, but it will work. do you want help from Alexandra? He can only help one of you for the round.
Yeah, that'd be helpful.
Okay, yeah. I will roll for him, but he can't fail. You get a +2 to your medicine check.
Let's see what happens.
12. So that's not it's not a critical fail by any means, but you do like come up to the giant there with water and you like purify it, and Alexandra comes over. As soon as you guys get close enough to the giant that's unconscious, first you can feel the heat coming off of this guy.
Mhm.
Like you recall how strong they were and how hard they could hit with those clubs. He looks notably diminished even over the course of like what is less than a week. Like they're both so skinny. Here the other one immediately gets very defensive and is trying to ward you away from him. Like she doesn't trust you to go over in the moment.
Yeah.
So that's a normal failure for you there. And then we'll move to Magnus. What are you looking for? Are you trying to influence or discover information?
Let's keep working on influencing them, and then I'll be just looking around and seeing if they have any last little bit of supplies, and maybe start working on seeing if I can craft some medicine for them.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead and you can roll craft. They do have like those crates and barrels in the back.
So yeah, that's I figured I'd kind of like cautiously look through them and see if there's anything I can start preparing for them.
Yeah, so this initial will be crafting. Perfect. So you see that she's warding uh, Alexandra and Komarov away from her fallen comrade here, who is just like breathing so hard and is sweating so bad, and like just the heat radiating off of him. And you go over to the supplies, and she watches you the whole way. But as you start to pick up certain things and like supplies, they do have like a rudimentary like mortar and pestle, way too big for you to use. But do you have your own alchemical equipment?
I do. I can pull it out of my bag and
Okay.
start using that.
Yeah, she sees you do that, and she allows you to work. Um, so yeah, you find all of these crates and barrels, and it looks like they have like some sort of symbol stamped on the top of them. You pop some of them open, and it looks like they've all been opened. And it looks like some of the stuff in here that is like alchemical or medicine in some way actually weren't the original contents of the crates. Like these are reused crates. Um, that might have had like other supplies in them previously. Um, but she sees you making, starting to make something, and she is going to see if we can figure out what you're doing just for trust's sake. Okay. Yeah, she's watching you do so. She's watching the things you pick up really closely. But she seems to approve with what you're doing. Are you making like a painkiller, a paralytic, or are you just making like actually an anti-plague?
I'm gonna try making an
Also,
anti-plague. I do have the
uh,
formula for it.
yeah, do any of you have medicine on you? That would help.
Nope.
That
On
I do
me,
not.
no. I've got healer's tools.
Yeah. Okay, I just don't want the players to forget that like using resources does make it either counts as a check or makes everything way easier if it's pertinent to the situation. Um, yeah, so you start to put together like anti-plague stuff. Um, and back to the guys outside, you come back with those supplies that you brought. Um, And she sees you come in with more stuff and looks visibly relieved. That does smooth things over by itself. What is everyone's next goals here?
How about a 10-minute break?
Yeah, we can take a bathroom break here. So you guys have made it into the Giants' encampment, and are well on your way to having some answers or a more or less tense dialogue.
Yep. All right.
And we'll
So,
be back
yeah,
in 10.
we're going to be back
Alright,
in
so-
10 minutes.
Yep.
And we're back with more Pathfinder. Majia.
All right. So Koromo and Katha have just come in with these herbs and roots that can be used to make some herbal remedies and other medicines. Magnus, you are currently in crafting some medicines out of what they have already. And Komarov, you have been sort of shied away from helping this other giant.
Mhm.
What does everyone want to do? So now you can find some different information in here, but you do sort of like you have sort of, this is the inner sanctum. You guys have been allowed into like the place she was very much trying to keep you away from. So like she still seems on edge, and she still seems like she's not totally there, but she's no longer like fully hostile. What does everyone want to do?
I will show her the medicine stuff that we've created and see if, and I will give it to. I don't have it written down. Our medic and see if he can administer it to the unconscious one to see if we can get him at least doing a little bit better.
Yeah. So Leoxandra can absolutely help somebody, and be there. Does anyone want to roll medicine to influence these guys?
Sure.
Yeah, so you and Leoxandra can go ahead and try to help the unconscious giant here. You get a +2 on your medicine check from Leoxandra, pushing it to a 20. Yeah, so after seeing you make the medicines and after seeing you guys come in with like the right stuff, she does not shy you away from helping the unconscious giant. And you guys like administer it to him just like orally. And it seems to have like a pretty quick effect, but he's still breathing pretty hard. And you see that the female giant has a big sigh of relief. Um, and it seems like that really solidified that you guys are like not an immediate threat. What does everyone else want to do? So, Katha, you're going to be administering that for a moment. Koromo, do you have anything you want to seek out in this room or anything you want to try and communicate to the giant?
I can't think of anything really besides just keeping an eye on the what's going on.
Do you want to look around the cavern?
Yeah, I'll just look around the cabin and see if I can see if there happened to be more of them that wasted away before we got there, or what happened.
Yeah, go ahead. If you're looking for like how they've been treating the cavern, that would be a survival check. But you can also do either perception or society to see what's going on.
Okay. Second. Sorry would probably be the best. And I didn't find
Koromo, Yeah, you don't find really anything of note. Like, it looks like this is just the inside place where they've been keeping like their supplies. They didn't want to get wet, or like, this is where they get their water. So like, you're like, yeah, this is a camp. No other real strong insights. Komarov and Magnus, what are you up to?
I want to kind of talk to her some more and maybe see if she knows like how they became ill. What's causing it? Like what happened to get them to be this sick?
Yeah. Do you have a skill in mind? Is this just diplomacy, or are you looking for like
Uh,
society information?
I'm gonna try society to see
Okay.
if it's something that was done to them. Oh, and I don't have a heal point, so
No. Um, you get the sense that like I think what you see is that like she's like sort of having this moment where she's finally got a second to relax, and then you're like just sort of bothering her. um like you keep badgering her and you're talking like a little too fast. She can't understand you. She's already confused, and she's been so uptight for like you see someone just exhausted, someone who is done. And she thought she had a moment to breathe, and you just keep asking questions. So she waves you away and is like, "Get out of my face." Komarov, what's up?
The main thing I was thinking of was, um, yeah, Magnus is right in this that they were slaves, and maybe they're in hiding. Then I was thinking of using stealth to see what maybe they were hiding from.
I'm sorry, say that one more time.
I was thinking of using stealth to see what they were hiding from. Like, if, like, if had, if whatever the people that enslaved them, um, had like a special sense or something. I don't know. Or if this is their like hidden cave, or something like that.
So I think that fits better with thievery, to sort of like see if there are any special precautions or like signs or like traps or anything. Is that what you're looking for?
Yeah, that would.
Or like symbols, stuff like that?
Mhm. Yeah, that's.
That's a really good thievery. Um, so you're looking around and you definitely see like you find like fully broken shackles. They've been like they're dusty, they've been discarded. Um, but you do see that there. So like signs that they're like that it's like pretty recent that they've come out here. And you also see that there's like a symbol printed on those crates back there that is sort of like a central bar and then two like triangles all in black.
Mhm.
And you do recognize that as something that I'm uncertain if it doesn't come to your mind immediately with this check, but you're like, that's that's a sign that like not a society, um like a thieves guild or something like a gang sign. That's a sign that is like, we own this thing and we distribute this thing.
Mhm. Okay.
So you're like, that's the thing. Like these are that's the tie back to whatever this is, from the direction you're looking for it.
Okay.
All right. So you guys have you have now come to the part where you have successfully gotten the trust of the giant, and we can come out of sort of the turn order I was pushing things in. Um, so now it is more or less calmed down, and you guys can sort of just talk to them normally. So understanding things is still going to be a little hard, and like doing those checks, but now the repercussions for them are a little less. Like, you've diffused the situation, so now you can all like work together a little more distinctly here. um, so Komarov has found and identified this sort of symbol here, and this other giant is like still breathing really heavily, and but is calmed down, has not regained consciousness.
Hmm.
Does anyone want to make a society check on the symbol here to try and identify, like if you recognize who the organization might be or where it might be from?
Yeah, I can do that. I can take a look.
Yeah, go ahead and roll society. Is there anything anyone else is curious about or wants to ask about?
Well, it's a little hard since Magnus is our translator and he's looking at a symbol. I just am like, how long if they have worms in their body?
Yeah, if you guys want to see like if you can figure out that, yeah, that would be a medicine.
Mhm.
Okay,
So
yeah. I'm gonna try and take a better look and see if I can figure out what's going on exactly.
yes, you will get the help action from Leoxandra, another +2. Com no. Magnus, you are looking at the symbol here, and you recognize this as you've seen this come across in Minralthin. It's an organization called the Iron Prow. They are effectively pirates, um, that are a little more aggressive than some other ones. Like, in like pirates are always fairly aggressive, but they're fairly nasty, like reputationally. They tend to deal a lot with uh, they're known to you as being like associated more with brawl than other places.
Okay.
Like I think the thing about it is they are brawl pirates. Like that's just what you've heard in Minralfin. Okay, thought you and Leoxandra are examining these guys. It looks like they have. So with the did you add the +2 to your roll?
No, that is
Okay.
just my roll.
Okay, perfect. So with a 23, you're looking at these guys. You're looking at the guy on the bed, on the cot, does seem like he is farther along, but you're looking at these two, and it sort of just looks more incidental. Like, he's just the younger of the two, so he's just got it a little worse. But you think these guys have been like, you're looking at an affliction that has been drawn out not only by their efforts to stave it away, but also before.
Hmm.
Like, it looks like they've had this for a very long time. Just them having, you're looking around at like the signs of their escape and like the scattered like shackles and like the recentness of people going missing and how long they've been here. And you think, like, it's gotten worse very fast, but it has otherwise been part of them for the better part, like at least half of their lives.
Hmm. That's rather interesting.
The thing you're looking at, just like in the giant, is like you can see, like they're pretty big. Like his arm is like fully the size of your leg. Um, but you do see some things like fully crawl under the skin. Like whatever's in there is a decent size.
Yeah.
Was there more specific information you were wanting, or is that about what you were looking for?
Um, I mean, there's definitely the. I'm wondering if I could use spells to overcome this.
Or are you going to try something, or is that like a question that you would use religion for?
Well, it's a question I would use. Yeah, I guess religion. So, all right, hold on. Sorry, trying to update my spells.
Yeah, it's all good. Comrade, was there anything you wanted to do the moment or look into?
Mm. Well, it seems if we're going to be taking care of them for a bit, what do they eat?
What do they eat, or what have they eaten?
I guess what have they eaten? Like, I know horses. I don't know if I can get more horses.
I do think you see signs that they, like, they've been ingesting the plants for medicine, so you think they probably eat as diversely as like a human would, at
Mm,
least that you can assume,
but bigger.
but
Okay.
bigger, yeah.
Mm.
Keitha, you're looking at this and you're thinking about the magic, you'd think that like I think what you're seeing is something that is, if it was not as far gone as it is now, magic would help, but you'd have to catch it a little on the earlier side. Like that, like this has gone from a sickness or disease into like there's full creatures inside of this dude, and they've just been sort of paralyzing them and to stave them off from whatever it is they're doing.
Okay.
So like you think that if you catch, like if someone else got sick, if you caught it early, magic would do it. But there's a point of no return is what you're seeing.
And we're past that point.
Yeah, for the spells you certainly have access to, like, later on there's crazy magic. Um but like this guy needs like complicated surgery, or like to poison his blood in a way that kills things but not him, which would be really difficult from everyone's knowledge of medicine. Uh, so was Komarov wanting to like go find food for them?
I'm wondering how far is Brawl from here?
You're pretty close to the border, but to any major city, it's like the better part of a day.
Mm.
Like you could be in what is known to be Brawl lands in a few hours, but before you could get to like a major settlement, it would be most of a day.
Mhm. Yeah, I was just thinking. Alexandra told me about this soup they made from chickens that seems to cure everything. But Minralthan doesn't have chickens, only beans and toast. So I was thinking about whether these magic chickens are worth making the trip for.
You could, it's pretty far away.
Mhm.
Okay. I'll ask Alexandra if he thinks it's worth going to get their magic curing chicken.
I think these people need pretty consistent care. Like so I don't think the chicken. It's great. It really is. We'll get that and we'll try it and it'll be good and you'll feel better afterwards. But I think they're past the point where that will help. Truthfully, I hate to say that. I hate to say that, but I do think that is the case.
But you've said that it can cure the soul. You have the book, The Chicken Soup for Souls. If it can cure a soul, surely it can cure anything.
That's when you're talking about things that are either there's different planes. The body exists here and has things that it wants, and the soul being healed more distinctly is. You know what? You're right. Maybe we should get some. Maybe we should get some. But we can wait until they're maybe more stable, or maybe we have like a form of transport. So I don't think the guards are going to let you take one of their horses.
No, not when the giants ate two of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, that doesn't help a lot either.
Better find something around here to make a big soup with. So, he'll go out and I'll do survey wildlife and see what kind of stuff is around here.
Oh, okay. You get the idea that most of the things out here, like definitely you could find, as far as predatory things go, you could find some like wild bobcats. But if you're looking for like prey animals, rabbits.
Yeah, I was just looking for something bigger so that I only have to bring home one thing and like I'm worried where the rabbits are coming from Karumo.
So the survey wildlife tells you that there are wild rabbits around here.
Yeah.
You do see those signs. Yeah,
So
you don't get the sense this is not like you would have to roll pretty well to get like a deer.
mhm.
Um,
Well, that's fun. Around here, there's just rabbits.
yeah, there's just a lot of rabbits.
All
It's
right.
just a good place for rabbits.
So I'll hunt prey and just go off hunting rabbits.
Okay. Um, is that survival for both? I don't know how survey wildlife works.
Survey wildlife just tells me, you give me a DC, or you have a DC in mind, and I find out what creatures are nearby based on nests, scat, marks on vegetation. So if there's mostly rabbits and a few like predatory cats, then that's just what's around here.
Yeah.
But then I would go to tracking with survival.
Okay.
And I would get +2 to track it, I think. Yeah. Make sure.
Yeah. So you identify sort of the creatures. You're pretty sure you can get like a bunch of rabbits if you roll pretty well, or like a big wildcat.
Okay, so use +2 to track them down. There we go.
Yeah, killer. You get like it still doesn't. It seems like a lot to you, but like the giants are almost 8 times your size.
Well, I
You're a
know.
little
That's
weird.
why I'm like, it's hoping for something better than rabbits. But if it's what I
Yeah.
got, we'll have to fortify it with Minrouth and Bean.
So many beans. Korimo, what are you up to?
I figured I want to see if I can find a dire rabbit.
A dire rabbit? Okay, yeah. Uh, if you roll any better than Komarov, you find a dire rabbit. So go ahead
Okay.
and make a survival check.
The dire rabbits? I don't think those exist. It's attacked by it.
Well, I
Yeah,
got the exact same thing he rolled. So what does that mean?
Well, you rolled 3 higher than my survey.
Oh
Wild,
yeah, that's right.
so
That's right.
it's up to Justin whether which one of those is the higher one.
I was thinking he would just go out and be hunting. So, which means he did get. Did you include the +2 in your roll?
I did, yeah.
Okay, yeah. So, I said any higher, and it is exactly the same. So you guys both go out, and this is you're gone a lot longer for this one because this is actually like to subsist. Is what I'm thinking of. So you guys go out for like a few hours and come back with enough rabbits to subsist the two giants for the day. But and you guys and the guards outside, the guards have the whole time been setting up like these big barricades where like a giant would have a hard time walking between them, but like people can, like they're pretty narrow. They set it all the way up around that. And they're sort of like set up a patrol just to see what's going on. And as Kormo and Komarov are heading out, one of them, sort of the bigger one, a little older guy, asks you how it's going.
Well, we're more or less friends. Or at the very least, they
Not
let
every-
poke and prod them. But they seem very sick. I'd probably stay away from them. Who
Yeah,
knows
it
if it's
doesn't
contagious?
seem like they, as you say that, they all take a full step back from you, and they're like, "Yeah, it doesn't seem worth the risk to me."
Mhm.
And he sort of like turns away, like his back to the trees and the barricades, and he says, "Feel like be be better just to burn it all down, get over with it."
Well,
It would
giants
be
are very
easy.
handy. If we get them really, if we can cure them and they become really good friends, they can be very, very handy to have around.
He hears what you're saying, and he sort of like nods, but he's still like sort of just looking off over the trees. And you guys head off to gather all of those rabbits. Magnus and Katha, you're staying in the cave, I'm assuming. Is there anything you want
Right.
to pursue?
I guess
Ah,
I want to work on this. Let's see here.
I mean, I'm looking at like, I can't do anything. Is
Mhm.
Alexandra with us still?
Yeah, I think he stayed to basically now this is his patient. Like he's fallen into that like pretty quickly.
Yeah. So I'm looking at him going, is there anything you know how to do?
Uh, he looks back at you and he's like, I'm not sure if I know what would be right to do, but I do think probably the next step. And he's looking really nervously at the one that is like conscious and awake. He's like, whatever's in there, I think like we could learn more by
Extracting
collecting a
it.
sample. Yeah, yes, that is what I'm alluding to. Um, I'm nervous about that. They're big. um, Also, he keeps looking at the other giant. He's like, I don't know how to say that to someone that's a little on edge, that I need to cut their person here to extract a sample. And he just sort of looks over at Magnus.
Yeah, I could say I can try to talk to
Try and
her and
relay that,
see.
because we can't do anything more for him without knowing exactly what we're dealing with.
Exactly, yeah. So I will go over to her and try to explain to her what we need to do to see if we can find a better way to get rid of these worms by at least getting one of them and seeing if we can examine it and look at it.
All right, go ahead and give me a diplomacy check.
Can I assist with that?
Yes, you have not made a roll yet. You can absolutely assist with it. Oh no. So you guys are both talking to the other giant, and it seems like she's getting like she has not drawn her bow or anything, but it seems like she is having a hard time like hearing the explanation you guys are giving. Like
Comprehending what we're trying to say.
yeah, she seems like perturbed. She's like keeps walking over and looking at him, and Leoxandra hasn't like drawn any tools or anything, but is also sort of just gesturing at him, and she looks really upset. Okay. So you guys spend some time trying to calm her down, and a few hours go by. Leoxandra is helping this giant. You guys are trying to communicate with the conscious giant as she's sort of upset. And Koromo and Komarov both come back with all of their supplies here. So for now, let's get everyone on the map.
All
right. In the cavern, or wherever you would be. I just
yeah,
imagine.
I'll be in the cavern.
Okay.
Let's see.
Making soup by the fire. Stole a bag of beans, by the way.
You make a thievery check. Yeah, you're solid.
Very mischievous.
Yeah, you grab like a big sack, like one of those like 3-pound bag of like dried beans off of somebody's cart while you were out there.
Mm-hmm.
Where's Komuro gonna be?
Probably be in the cave, but I'm not sure how to get a pawn on there.
Okay, I'll move him over.
And I'm trying to remember how to get a token onto
Oh.
the menu.
So you'll grab the name and drag it. But use the name, not the picture.
Yeah, I mess that up every time. At least once. Were you trying to get a picture on?
I have one. I put one in there.
So go to your character where you see the characters. So, like I said, where you see the name and your character's picture, grab the name and pull it.
Oh, there we go. Okay.
Yep.
Oh, there we go. I'm not seeing that on your sheet. Okay.
Yeah, it was weird. Yeah, I didn't. It just has like a generic little guy, like a cloak of eyes.
Oh, okay. So you put it in the. So I think most people put it in as the avatar, and it defaults as the token.
Okay, yeah, I just put in the
yeah.
token thing.
No,
Okay,
yeah,
I'll
that,
add
that
that later.
no. Either way, it's fine. I just thought you didn't have one. Okay. So everyone is doing sort of negotiating with this other giant, or like looking over the unconscious giant. Komarov is out cooking some food. Let me see what these guys do.
Okay, come on. Oh, use.
What's up?
I might have to reload roll 20.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to reload that quick, see if it decides to work. Okay, there we go. There we go, yep. Oh, sometimes works well, sometimes it's a pain in the butt.
Yeah, and
Anyway,
sometimes when you've been on it for a while, it just sort of gets worse.
yeah.
All right. So you guys are all sort of doing your own thing. Komarov, you're outside. What you make a perception check.
Okay.
Okay.
Not you are. I mean, you're making your. How much do you cook the? How are you cooking? You've got all these beans, but like, are you using your own pots? So they're kind of small. Or are you trying to use the giant pots and they're like too big to move?
I'm using the giants. I trust my strength. I'm like, if a giant can lift it, I can.
Yeah. So you're sort of struggling with it. just just trying to tough it out. All right.
Oh,
Did someone have a comment? Did I miss something?
no, I just had something on accident.
Okay, cool. All right. So everyone's gonna roll initiative for me as another very large figure sort of crashes through the trees here. And it looks like they were fully like in stealth. Like you don't hear any of the soldiers outside cry out or anything. Like it doesn't kick over a bunch of the stuff. It comes out from the trees like it had been crawling down the cliff face. And Komarov, you were so struggling with the easiest way to carry a giant pot is to put it over your head and then walk to where you need it and tip it up,
I think I lost you,
so-
Justin.
No, good Justin.
What's up?
I
Your
lost you for
audio
a second.
caught out.
I'm sorry, can you not hear me?
I can hear you.
Yeah,
Hey,
I just didn't get the last part you said.
I was just
The creature slithered down. And I was like, and then everything went silent. And I was like, was that it? Sounded like there was more.
I was just saying that you don't notice it because the easiest way to carry a giant pot is to put it over your head and then walk to where you need to go.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so that you upend it, and you upend it to the site of what looks to be the giant you guys killed.
Huh.
Huge gashes in its thighs and looking really its pallor is significantly different, but it does look immediately aggressive. I will go ahead and add in and Right. Acting first, standing right in front of Komarov, is this.
You're gonna need to add in Fred. Looks like Koruma.
Oh, shoot. Oh, okay. Yeah.
Fred forgot to select this token.
Yep. I forget. Some of us have used Roll20 less than the other ones. I'm sorry. I should have explained that. Okay. But that is where, right there at the bottom is Mike's on there, Komarov's on there, Keito's on there.
Yep.
It's everyone? Okay, cool. Okay, so first up is this other hill giant that you guys had thought was there was either dead or gone, and you see it now sort of it's not holding a club. I'm sorry, what's up?
Oh, I just accidentally put another one of my tokens on there, I guess. I was trying to figure out how to delete it.
The Karumas are
Yeah.
multiplying.
But apparently I'm on there twice? No. Somebody said I wasn't on there. So
You
I
weren't on their the initiative tracker.
Oh, I'm not on the oh.
I added that one in. Yeah, so you were on the map, you weren't on the initiative. When
Oh.
you roll initiative, it doesn't automatically add it unless you click on your token first.
Oh.
Yeah, so I
Okay.
added it in.
You can delete one of my tokens, I guess, because I don't know how to delete it apparently.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I got rid of it. Okay, cool. Yeah, Komarov, you are looking at this thing that looks pretty different from how you saw it before, especially because you thought it was done for. It is going to. What is your full move speed? Okay. It moves up to here, lifts up that chair, and is just going to hurl it at you. It picks it up with both hands and chucks it straight down at you. That is a 15 to hit.
That will barely miss.
That misses. So it lifts. Oh, that chair is not a token. It's part of the map. Well, my bad. But it lifts up that giant stool and hurls it at you, shattering it right over your head. And then it sort of like roars. That is all of its actions, though, because it had to pick up the chair. Kay thought you hear a full commotion from outside, shattering wood and like a full like.
Well, I guess I'm gonna start by drawing this new sword out. Yeah. Yep. So, 10, 15, 5, 10. And it looks like I will be able to get to there with 2 moves I've got left.
Yeah, the Komarov missing, seeing this thing coming into camp has put you all at a pretty big disadvantage. So you start running to the beginning of, or the entrance of the cave. Komarov, what are you doing?
Let's see. I'm gonna start by doing hunt prey. And then we're just gonna 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're gonna start there. And then let's see. Last action, we're going to try. Let's see, what will this look like? I'll make what looks like a sling out of water. And my available damage types. This will do bludgeoning as a blaster bar attempts to hit it.
18 does hit.
Just as that one bludgeoning.
One bludgeoning. Okay.
And then that activates my kinetic aura, so I'll pick blue color. But my turn's done.
Okay. All right. We move to Magnus. Magnus, you hear a scuffle. Kathal's already heading out, sword drawn. What are you up to?
I'll fall up behind him.
Oh, you know what? I forgot to roll for.
The other giant.
No, I know what I'm doing with that one. I didn't roll for Leoxandra.
You mean
Right.
he's not just gonna cower in the cave?
He might still do that, but he should be on the board. Especially because
Alright,
he rolled a 30.
Wow.
He hears some shit going on and he's like, I mean, I know where I'm supposed to be, right? But he is there if you guys want to ask him for help and stuff.
so
He
I'll
reacts
grab
first and
my
chooses to do
staff
nothing.
and move there. Alright, and then I grab my staff and move to there.
Okay, perfect. So you come out and now you can see this just awful looking giant standing there, like breathing hard, leaning over, just so pale, like so pale that it's defies sort of what you know of in medicine. Like the other guy's crazy pale and this guy's 2 shades even paler. Okay, and then we move to Cormo.
I will draw my sword and move to where, as far as I can, I guess. And I can't seem to want to. Probably 1, 2. So I'll probably move to the mouth of the cave, but I can't seem to figure out how to move the actual token.
Can you select the token?
Or there.
You don't I did that. You don't have access to it?
Oh, okay. So I probably will move right as far as I can with 25 movement. Or 20, 50 movement, I guess.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25. So that's 2 actions. Do you what do you do with your last action?
Draw my sword.
Draw your sword. Okay, perfect. I here try to go over to your Corimo thing and try to drop another token down because you had access to the other one. It might just be because I put this one on there. For some reason, you should have access to it no matter what. So go ahead and try to drop another one down, and we'll delete that previous one.
What? Oh,
What's up?
nothing.
Yeah, can you move that one, Fred? Fred, are you muted?
No, sorry, my screensaver came back on.
Okay. Can you move that one?
No, I can move everything but that. I can move the right click. Okay.
Right
Can't
click.
change it. Let's click.
Yeah, left click.
No. It's letting me choose a whole bunch of other things, but it's not letting me. Ah! That's what it's letting me do.
So when you have it selected like that, just use your arrows on your keyboard. Are you using? Are you on a phone on Roll20? Is that why?
No,
That gets
I'm on my
really difficult.
computer. I'm on my computer, but it's not letting me do anything, even with the keys on my keyboard.
That is interesting. Let me see. Why that is here real quick. I mean, it should be.
Never mind, I got it.
You got it?
Okay. Yeah. I just had the wrong thing selected. I had the hand selected.
Oh, you had the tools wrong. Okay, that
Oh
makes sense.
yeah, the pan.
I truly do that all the time.
All of us have done it, and we
Yeah.
all will again.
And I always forget that that's a thing. I'm so sorry. Okay, yeah, cool. So you move twice, you draw your sword. Now you can see it. Next up after Koromo is, so all four of you guys have gone. Next is Leoxandra. Does anyone want Leoxandra to do anything?
Move to the cave entrance so we can at least see what's going on.
Okay, cool. So, okay, he uses all three actions to move over here. He's got like some surgical tools in his hands, one of which is, a pretty, a very big scalpel. He's got a scalpel out. Okay. And now that you guys have all been reacting in this way, and there's like this big scuffle, the wood giant does also now stand up. But she doesn't seem like she's running. It seems like she's so drained. So she moves up to here. She's holding her weapon, but she looks like she's exhausted. So she's moving pretty poorly. Next up is this other hill giant here. Okay. So what are we doing, guy? What do you got? Oh, don't do that. Okay, so it moves once over here. Komarov, you see him pick up one of the rocks that are now hot because you were trying to boil water, lifts it up in its hand, seems to not care that it is getting burnt, and is going to hurl a hot stone at you. And that one is a 18 to hit.
That'll hit.
That'll hit. Okay, so you're going to take 15 bludgeoning damage and 1 fire damage.
Okay.
As he just brains you with that. So he moves, picks up the stone, throws the stone, and he will also take that 1 fire damage. But from there, K-Thoughts, your turn.
Okay.
Usually they have a bag full of stones, so it's not as arduous to just keep throwing stones, but this guy's having to stop and pick things up off of the ground.
So if I'm counting correctly for Pathfinder 2, I should get there, right?
I believe so. Let me check so the map should do, oh, good. How come it does
Because
this to me?
So, wait a minute.
Can I extend this?
Yeah.
My map settings are difficult to access because of the way Uh, I truly ran a game last week and it didn't look like this. I'm not getting the little
Okay, I
gear for
could
the
get
map.
there
Okay, yeah.
with 3 moves.
To check if it's doing the math right. I am sorry.
It
looks
it
right.
isn't,
Yeah, it's usually the
because
D&D
when I
ones
run
aren't.
out of my first movement and move to my second movement, it's still counting it as a second diagonal instead of the first,
Oh, yeah.
which is weird in Pathfinder Second Edition.
That's fair, yeah.
All right.
Yeah, so you sprint out there holding your bastard sword, and you can see the this pale giant.
Oh, jeez, I can't
It's
remember.
all.
Was it here or here?
I believe it was the one down farther.
Okay.
Yeah. You can see this giant still has the open wounds. Keitha, you are. You're. I wait, Komarov. Were you trained in medicine?
No.
No, okay. So, Keitha, you are trained in medicine. You see this giant. You recognize some of the injuries on it. There isn't blood in these injuries. It looks like he looks like so pale. Like there's not blood in it.
Like, maybe it's not alive right now.
Somewhere along those lines, it's still acting like it did, though. Like
Yeah.
it still moves like it is, but like there's no one in the there's no one in the driver's seat anymore.
Yeah.
All right, so Keithos sprints out there. Komarov, we're back to you. What do you got?
Alright. See a reason to hold off. So, I'll heal myself up a bit. Yeah, hold 5. Give me 2 fire resist in case he fire throws more fiery rock.
Oh yeah.
And then we will do the 2 action. So, my ward, it looks like a sling. I make the sling bolt bigger. So it's the 2 action version. Misses.
Yeah. You shoot this ball of water out at it, going pretty wide over its head. You're pretty rocked by how big that stone was. You're the smallest person. Are you the smallest? Are you smaller than Kurumo?
Kuruma and I are the same size, I think. We're both small.
I always picture you as being broad, though. Like I don't know why, but like I've been thinking about the orcs as being like short like halflings but wide. I don't know why.
Yeah, I want to take wideness from the dwarves, so
Oh
that's
yeah,
my
that's
only thing.
all right. So you heal yourself a little bit, miss this shot. Magnus.
All right. Let's. Okay, yeah, I'll move to there, and then let's do this one on him.
15 doesn't hit.
All right.
Yeah, so you fire those darts out. Are you using any specific metal or just
I'd probably
general?
do the cold iron as my default.
Okay. Yeah, you fire these cold iron needles out and they return to your lump that you have at the end. Basically, like you just they go pretty wide, like shotgun blast style. You're like, no, all in a row, not shotgun blast, too far. Is that all your actions?
Yep, that's my 3.
Okay. Koromo.
Okay. So how do you drag it? See if I can figure it.
So yeah, the select. Make sure that's the one you've got, the little arrow selected.
Right.
The little arrow.
Over in the upper
Yeah.
left.
Yeah, I got it.
And you should just be able to hold the token with the left click and move it. And then release the left click to drop it.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1. That's probably about, I think it's about 2, 3. Like I said, that chair is gone.
Yeah, that chair's gone.
Yeah, that's been destroyed. Yeah, that's a bunch of
Yeah.
splinters.
I think that's probably it.
Okay. Was that 3 actions? Hello? Oh, oh,
He's got to get closer for his third.
okay, cool. I
Yeah.
cannot hear Fred.
Yeah, that's right there.
Okay, cool.
You can't,
So you, sorry, what were you saying?
I said I'm getting there, but that's all 3 of my actions. If I had another action, I would hide, but since I don't have another action, I'm not going to hide.
Okay, cool. Alexandra continues. He comes to here. He's going to attempt to use an ability. Okay. So Alexandra is looking at this, looking pretty focused on this giant, but stands sort of at the cave. Actually, they are going to sort of come out into this alcove. So they come up back against the stone on the cliff face there, holding his scalpel, standing pretty far back, but seems to be paying attention. The giant is going to comes out, and this one starts trying to speak to the giant out there. The words, Magnus, this is a harder situation to understand because you're in the middle of this tense situation, but the giant is using the words to like calm, like help, stuff like that, and is waving its arms like stop. There does not seem to be any reaction from this one, though. It is going to 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, walk right up and just hit you this time. That is a 21 to hit.
That'll hit.
Okay. That's 9 bludgeoning. And then it will just attempt one more time with a 25.
That'll hit.
And that one is only 6 bludgeoning. Yeah, so this one is just punching the shit out of you. It doesn't have its club. It doesn't have a sack full of rocks. It had been throwing things, but there was no pieces big enough for it to pick up and use as a weapon. So it's just wailing on you with its fists. Katha, you are up.
Of course. Well, since it's 2 moves anyway, I guess I'm going to there. So I'll get to there. If it takes a swing at me, it takes a swing at me.
It does not make an action.
Okay. So then I'm going to take my sword and take a swing at it.
Alrighty.
Ooh.
24 hits for 16. Big hit on this guy. Takes it right in like the lower back. It does not look like it's nearly as sturdy as the first time you fought it while it was with the other giants, but it also reacts a little less to the gouge, but you do get a sense of like some very real damage from that. Anything else you can do?
That's 3 actions, so nope.
Okay. Komarov.
Uh, just out of curiosity, with it, Keita slashing into it, does a bunch of like worms try to squirm free?
Yes, you are seeing a lot of movement
Huh.
coming from the inside of it. Do you want to make a perception check or a medicine check?
Well, I don't. But um, how do we want to do this? I'll just be like, Alexandra, you want to study this thing, right? Pay
Yeah,
attention.
all right, yo, I no, that is what I will do. That's what I'll do the next time when my turn comes around, I'll focus a little differently.
Right. So,
I'm assessing things in a violent manner, but I'll do it as a doctor now.
I'm gonna do cold damage. I'm gonna turn my wiry sling into a blade
Mhm.
and just hit that with flanking for cold damage.
That hits with the off guard for 11. You stab right into it. You're seeing a lot. Yeah, you cut into it. And now that you're on the right side of it, you see a lot of like wriggling around. This is, I think you instinctively get sort of a bad vibe from that.
And then nothing personal, but 1, 2, 3. Last action is gonna move over there.
Yeah, Komarov bails out. It like follows you, like it's staring at you um, as you walk away, but does not have the attack of opportunity action. Back to Magnus.
All right, I will try to recall knowledge on him.
Okay, are you trying to society? Um, so you do recognize this as being the same kind of giant as the one that is unconscious. It's pretty obvious that they're not the same kind of giant as the other one that's currently still standing. I
So just
think
to,
the thing, yes.
well, I was just gonna say, just so you remember, because I am a mastermind, so if I successfully
Oh,
identify
yes.
a creature with recall knowledge, he's off guard.
Okay. No, you don't get that.
Okay.
You're a little shy of that. But I think what you see is that there is I like this action. I like this action for this reason. So you miss your ability, but I think the thing you get is that society isn't the most pertinent thing right now.
Mhm.
If you want to identify really what's going on, you're going to want to use occultism,
Okay.
and that
Uh,
will allow you to attempt that again.
okay.
Um, and you don't need to wait for
I'll,
your other turn, but whatever you want to do.
oh, yeah, I'll wait for the next because for my last two actions, I think it's I'll point my staff at him and do this.
That hits. It's success and is knocked 5 feet back. You push it 5 feet closer to Komarov, just blast it with water. It does take that damage, and it is already following Komarov with its eyes, and now it is pushed farther back towards it. But that looks like it hurt really bad.
What's the idea, be mage?
It's just a joke, Karmov.
We're just giving him a shower.
Oh, there. On the note of showers, those of you that are close by, it stinks, but it doesn't stink like a corpse.
Huh.
It stinks like someone's sick, but like way farther along than in the cave.
Yeah.
Cormo, you're up. Oh, darn it! I'll do that after this.
Okay. One.
No, yeah, go ahead and do your turn. I forgot to do a thing, but this is a good time to do it anyway.
So you gonna do it, or should I wait?
No, go ahead. Go ahead and do your turn. It'll take me a second anyway.
And 15, 20. I'm gonna move there and attack.
Okay. A 13 doesn't hit. So you cut into it, but you're like at a bad angle. You don't get any purchase on its flesh.
And then I will attack a second time.
That one does hit. You just punch it.
No, well, I should be doing it with my sword. Did I? Oh, I must have hit the wrong button.
Yeah, that's all. You hit the wrong button.
I mean, we can, for the most part, keep that. I was just wondering if there was a reason you wanted to go for the punch.
No, I thought I hit the second.
We'll keep the damage. We'll keep that attack roll from the first one. Oh, it's the same.
Yeah.
So
it's
yeah,
a
you
damage.
the second. Yeah, I don't want to take away your first roll from you. When you're just a little unfamiliar with the sheets there. Yeah, you do your second attack stabs into it. And what you're seeing is like big, like nasty maggots come out of the puncture wound that are the size of your hand, not a medium-sized creature's hands, but a small sized creature's hand. They're pretty gnarly. Like if anyone has seen the larva of a Hercules beetle,
Mhm.
they're pretty much they're like pretty big. They do have like these little legs and these like big mandibles.
If nobody kill it with fire.
Yeah. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. So now is when these guys actually show up. So this is a half troop of these guys. Oh, and they roll really bad. So they finally come through, but they roll 10. So they go last anyway. So they show up on the time that they should have, and that's their whole turn. They're like, what's happening? They all come through the trees, and they have to squeeze through their barricades that they painstakingly made all day to keep things from coming out. So they finally squeeze in through the rocks and the trees and the barricades, and they're formed up right down there like, we'll be there in a second. We're on our way. We're so close to being there. Switched out. Okay, Alexandra is going to make a medicine check to see. Now is not using an ability, but is instead just using medicine, and that's natural 1.
Awesome.
So He sees it get pushed closer to Komarov, and he's like, "No!" Just panics a little bit in the moment. Is anyone significantly hurt that that Alexandra can see? I don't think anyone else has taken any hits other than Komarov.
Yeah, I'm halfway down.
Half down. Okay, that's pretty bad. He's going to 25, 5, 10, 15, 20. He crawls under this chair and is like it is like showing you that he's like closer by for medicine. Like, he slides under there, and so he moves. Oh, actually, he's got one more action. Do you want him to come all the way to you?
No.
The
I don't
medicine
know.
wasn't an action.
Oh, was that 2 movements? Yeah, I think
I
because
thought
he was
so.
up here. Oh no, that you're right. That is 2 movements. Yeah, so he does medicine and then 2 movements. I backed up in my head for some reason.
That's one.
Yeah, that's totally 2 movements. I think he had more movement, but I thought it was more fitting for someone who doesn't want to be in the fight to hide under
To
the
hide
big
under
chair.
the chair, yeah.
Okay, so he slides all the way under the big chair, fails the medicine check, can't give the proper information. 5, 10, 15, 5, 10, 15, 20, 5, 30, 35. So this one comes all the way down and is right behind you guys and like is trying to put a hand on the other giant from over you, is like grabbing its shoulder, but doesn't have enough actions to make it a full grapple check. But is trying to still hasn't drawn a weapon, but isn't also stopping you guys from drawing weapons. Is trying to grab it and is just runs out of actions. Then is the kill giant here. Komarov, you're the last one that cut into it. It's going to turn on you.
Mm-hmm.
And you're pretty small, but it doesn't have the ability to. I want to be true to the stat block, but I also want it to throw you. So we'll stay true to the stat. We'll stay true to the stat block. In my heart, I'm like, if it can throw a big rock, it can throw a halfling. But there's also abilities that allow you to do that, and it doesn't possess them. So we will stick to the regular stat block.
I figured you would have to grapple me first, so.
Oh yeah, it would definitely be at least 2 actions. But it may still grapple you, but I'm not going to rule that it can just throw you if you're fighting it. So we'll start with just a punch. 27.
27 will crit.
27 will crit me.
Oh, I'm sorry, not Komarov, Koromo.
Oh, Cor. Okay.
Yeah, he's the one standing right up in it.
27 crits.
Okay. I think I'll use this on that to lessen the impact of it.
Flash of Grandeur. Oh, this is the new stuff. I
This
have
is
not
the
read
new
this
stuff.
Correct. Yeah.
27 is exactly the amount you need to crit me.
Yeah. For 1 round, revealing light. Is dazzled if the creature was invisible. Okay. What does it look like? What does your revealing light look like?
It's probably just white.
It just radiates light, like really pure.
Yeah.
Pure
Very
light, like
white light.
like hospital light, like those weird LEDs.
No, not that kind of light, but very,
Okay, cool.
very white.
Yeah. So
Not
you'll
the sterile, but more life-giving. So.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, sterile is the word I was looking for. Like just normal, harsh light. Okay, so you take 18 bludgeoning damage, which means you take 13 bludgeoning damage. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so it clocks you right on the side of your head, rocking your whole body, and it's going to go for a second one. Natural 20.
Oh my gosh.
Second
Might be
one.
dead.
Oh wait, he is dazzled.
Oh, he is dazzled. You're right. I'll roll that one on the board.
So
That's a
it's a
miss
crit.
chance, right?
Yeah, you roll a 4 or less on the D20.
So
Yeah.
I'm going to roll that one so you guys can see that one.
Yeah,
Thank you.
no.
Aw, boo.
Yeah.
He definitely hits.
So this one is 15 bludgeoning damage.
I do believe I'm dying 1. Oh no, I'm dying 2 because it's a crit.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Yeah, so it clocks you 2 times and is just frothing at the mouth. It turns to Katha and is going to throw the third swing at you. That one is a 15.
That misses.
Misses. Okay. Yeah, so it's just thrashing around terribly. Okay, we move to Katha.
And I move in the initiative order right before the
To right
giant.
before it. Yeah.
Oh, yes. I'll move you. I'll move you there.
Well, so I seem to
Okay.
miss one.
So we'll start with a 2-action heal to Kurumo. So that'll be 2-action. Wow, really?
Yep.
So you only heal 5.
Oh, if it's
Oh,
2
plus
actions,
8.
doesn't it add 8? Yeah. So it should be 13.
Isn't it 8 per die?
Yeah. So if it's
second level, so
Oh, yeah.
16,
21.
21 healing.
My bad. I didn't realize you were upcasting it.
I have
The
to.
roll. Oh, this is your cleric spell. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
this is your-
automatically.
Yeah. Oh no, that was allowed. Okay. So you do a big heal. What do you want to do with your last action?
Take a swing.
All right.
Mm.
15 isn't gonna do it. You don't have a hero point, do you?
I haven't used mine yet.
Do
That's
you
what
want to use it?
I'm debating on. Yeah, let's use it. So we'll hero point that and get a little better.
Yeah, way better. Okay. Oh. Komarov.
Hmm.
It looks like it's not holding together very well.
Well, so we'll stride into a flank.
Oh, I imagine Leoxandra's cussing up a storm right now.
Yeah, Leoxandra is like, don't do this.
Let's see.
It'll kill you, then eat you. Or
Right.
it'll eat you, then kill you. That was gonna be the joke, but both are fine.
Actually, it doesn't have reach. And I can. So I'll form a giant mace of earth and try and smack it.
21 hits.
Mhm.
It takes that 12.
I'm gonna do bludgeoning with it.
Perfect.
Crushing the snake things seems like a good idea. But that's a stride and a 2-action.
Okay. So you
Is there
move
a-
into the. What's up?
Oh, you said, Brian, does it have a poison trailer as well?
It's one of the damage types I can choose.
Oh, okay. Oh, it's those 3 types. Okay, poison, bludgeoning, or
Yep.
piercing. Okay.
yeah.
All right. We are to Magnus.
Okay, so let's see if we can figure out what's going on with this occult stuff.
23. This thing has whatever is wrong with the other guy. The next stage of it is sort of this rabid state of beings. You can tell that it's gained the aberration type.
Oh,
By the
interesting.
way, Magnus, this thing was dead before last I saw it.
Hmm. See, it's doing weird things now. Yep. And then I
Should I?
will miss on a whole bunch of. Oh wait, there was supposed to be needle darts, but either way, the attack aid is way off.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, that doesn't quite get it.
I consider wounded 1 now, or wounded 2.
You're
1.
wounded 1.
Wounded
Yeah.
1.
Yeah, if you go to dying 2, it's still just wounded 1.
They keep going back and forth about it, though.
Well, I'm the GM, and those are the rules I want.
Yeah. Well, the last time they went with the other ruling, everybody was like, well, that's wrong. And they were like, yeah, sure, we'll fix that.
Do what you want. Okay, these guys move forward, and they are all going to fire crossbows that they have. It's going to make a reflex save, which it fails, and it takes. Oh, actually, there's less of them than normal, so it. Wait. No, this one's normal. Okay. The damage doesn't change, the area changes. Yeah, so they fire a bunch of crossbow bolts into it, just riddling its chest full of crossbow bolts. So they do 18 damage, actually. And it's like, and it's like lifting its head up, and its eyes roll back into its head, and the other giant looks upset. And as it leans its head back, its shoulders slump back, and you can see the thing that Alexandra failed to see because he was worried about Komarov, that natural one, that there is something in its chest cavity, and it explodes. Katha and Kormo take 1 acid damage, and from the inside of it emerge. Do it. Please put it there. Okay.
It did. Oh, wonderful.
These 2 strange insectoid creatures, and and a swarm of little narcy dudes. And that's where we'll pick up next time we play.
Oh, wonderful.
You defeat the hill giant, and from the inside of it, you see these insectoid monsters burst from its chest, leaving the husk of this bolt-riddled corpse, and then the maggots that you believe are in the other 2 start to also writhe around, seeking new.
Interesting.
I've seen
Okay.
this movie, Oromo. Just don't open your mouth. They can't get in that way.
Sure, I believe it.
Everyone's gonna be totally fine.
Everything is going to be fine. Nothing's wrong. Go away.
thing bursts open, and all of the troops are like, "Ah!"
And they run away.
All right. Well, we will see everyone again later. We hope you've enjoyed this. Don't forget to check out the Fellow Shop on your way out. Have a nice day.